Hi everyone, this is Joe at Adult Education Center on Main Street in Winnipeg. It's good to be back with you again, and we are going to just look at this answer that, I'm going to give you the answer that we had from the end of the last video. We were adding 674 to 1,332, and hopefully you got this as an answer. Oh, we got a 6. 7 plus 3 is 10. Put in a 0. Carry that 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. Plus 3 makes 10. And carry the 1. And you have 2006. So hopefully you got that answer. If you were able to get that answer, that's fantastic. And we're going to carry on now to subtraction. So I'm going to erase this question, but I'm going to keep my number line. So take this off. And I'll change the title to Subtraction. So subtraction causes some people problems. There's easy ones and then there's more difficult ones. That's the way it is with all kinds of questions, right? But once we learn how to do addition, we want to learn how to do the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. And the opposite, some teachers might use another word instead of opposite, and they might use the word inverse, and that's great. But for our purposes, opposite will definitely do the trick, okay? So subtraction, what is that? Well, if I have $10 and I spend 4, that leaves me with 6. So in arithmetic, we say 10 subtract 4 equals 6. Or 10 take away 4 is 6. Take away is okay. It's okay to use that, but I would rather you say subtract or minus. Take away is kind of elementary, so to speak. Definitely little children will use that, but adults, it's best to use the either subtract or minus. It's just a more mature way of saying it. Okay, now the reason why I left my number line up here was because if you can use something for addition, because addition and subtraction are opposites, you should be able to go the other way. So watch this. I'm going to say 12 subtract 8. So you remember on the last videos we were jumping to the right, we were adding, but now we're subtracting. So again, we start at the first number. We're going to start at the number 12, and this time we're going to go the opposite direction because we're doing the opposite operations. So start at the number 12 and we're going to jump 8 spots to the left. And the numbers are smaller as you go to the left. So let's do that. Hopefully you know what 12 minus 8 is, but if you don't and you want to see a picture of it, here we go. We're going to jump 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And guess where we end up? We end up at 4. So an example, if I have $12 and I spend 8, I have $4 left. Okay, let's make sure we did that right. I'm going to make sure I jumped 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And sure enough, I did. All right. Let's do one more like that. Actually, I want to do two more. This will cover all the bases, okay? I want to go 9 minus 9. 9 minus 9. Okay, well, let's do it. We're going to start at 9, and we're going to jump 9. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where do we end up? We end up at 0. Just for your information, when children are learning to count, they don't use 0. 0 kind of comes along later. But we know that 0 is a number, and it's a valid number. It's got its own little quirks and personality. So 9, subtract 9 will take us to 0. Anything subtract itself gives 0. That's just a law that never changes. All right. Now, our last example, and this is what we're going to build our lesson on. How about 7 subtract 8? 7 subtract 8. Well, if I have $7 and you want to take away 8, that's impossible. There isn't 8 to take away. So let's just see what happens in this case. We'll start at our 7. Sorry about that. I'm just going to clean my board here. We start at 7, and we're going to jump 8 to the left. See where we go. So here's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I'm trying to take away 8. There's no more numbers. It's impossible. All right, so you cannot take a bigger number away from a smaller number. It's impossible at this stage. All right, so that is very important to know. So we have to come up with some sort of a technique on how to do subtraction questions that seem to have this situation where the one number is bigger than the other. So again, I'll erase this and we'll come up with a couple examples. By the way, I should put in my answers here. That's a 0, and this is not possible. That is not possible. How are we doing for time here? Okay, so let's do 1 or 2 easy ones before we get to the end of this video, and I'll show you what subtraction is all about. So in your book, the booklet that I was talking about in the first video or two, this is the booklet that has 674 plus 1332. That's the same booklet. We're going to go to the 3rd page, which in this booklet is labeled page C, and it's called Subtracting 2-Digit Numbers. And you'll notice that on the bottom of every question, there's a 2-digit number. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the one that says 599 subtract 86. So example 1, 599 subtract 86. All right, since I showed you the number line method, I'm going to use it for 1 or 2 examples. And let's do it. Okay, 9 subtract 6. Okay, start at the 9. And we're going to take 6 away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 9 subtract 6, where did we end up? We ended up at 3. That's great. Okay, now we're going to go 9 subtract 8. And this is a little bit awkward, erasing everything, but that's okay. You'll forgive me, I'm sure. This row is all done. Now we have 9 subtract 8. Now 9 and 8 are next door neighbors. I mean, there's only a difference of one number between them. You probably know that 9 minus 8 is 1, but let's just use our number line method anyway. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like I thought, we ended up at the number 1. So 9 minus 8 is 1. Everything is good, working out just perfectly. Now, there's no number here. There are no hundreds in this bottom number. So we just drop down our 5. And there is our answer, 513. I chose this number because there was nothing complicated about it. Okay? And just because I'm using this bounce around number line, that doesn't mean you have to use it. But if you have troubles with your basic facts, like addition and subtraction facts, it's a great thing to have. Okay? So, let me see. How about one that matches our second example? 663 minus 13. 6, what was it again? 63, subtract 13. Okay, I chose this number specifically because it matches the second example from a minute or two ago. Remember, when you have some number and you subtract itself, what do you get? You get 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. That's all good. That row is done. 6 minus 1 is 5. How is it? Is it straight? Yep. Okay, and again, there's nothing in here, so just drop down the 6. Here, I'll make that a little bit bigger. Now I made it too big. Okay, so now we have our answer of 650. And we're at 13 minutes, and that's perfect because I want to introduce our next example. This will be example 3. I'm going to write that over here. Example 3. Remember, stop the recording anytime you need to. And I'll take this off. And here is the question. The question is 7. Nope, I'm going to make it this one. 672 subtract 14. 672 subtract 14. So we go over here and we look at our far right column, and we have problems. You have a 2 and you want to take away a 4. That's impossible. You can't do it. We have to have some sort of trick. Okay, that is what I'm going to leave this video at. That's it for this one. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about renaming, borrowing, that kind of thing. Okay, that's going to give us a trick in order to solve this problem. All right, so that's it for this one. I will see you in the next video.